Yo, what's up guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video where today we are looking at Toxapex with Shadow Gligar and Whiscash in the Open Great League. As some of you guys know, Open Great League is probably my favorite league. It's what I've played the most. It's what got me into my start with Sylph format and continues to be just a league that's the most accessible and a league that has a lot of variety as the meta shifts. You get some of the same staples. We've had Great League metas before where you see a lot of the same stuff over and over again, but I think there's always some variety and there's always room for spice picks. And Toxapex, I got this team from my buddy Evan, so shout out to him. Maybe I'll leave a link to his Twitch channel in the description. But this is the Evan 7777 team, and Whiscash with Toxapex. They're two water types that function quite differently. Toxapex with that poison typing is going to do pretty well against grass types. Whiscash has to avoid grass types at all costs. And with that Scald buff, Whiscash is now one of the top picks in the Open Great League. So we're in the situation here where we lost the lead, but we took some sort of shield advantage. We land the dig on a Azumarill. We come in here with cash, Whiscash money, Whiscash daddy, the cash flow. I don't know. Come up with your best Whiscash nickname in the comments below. But Whiscash is just spamming away mud bombs. When I first started PvP, I remember Whiscash was a Pokemon I used all the time because I was telling my friends, I was like, dude, I just started to go Battle League and Whiscash is busted, dude. It's just so spammy with Mud Bomb. Well, since then, Mud Bomb's actually gotten buffed. It also has access to Scald now. So Whiscash is the best it's ever been, I would argue. And we're going to overfarm here, throwing on Charge Attack Priority, which is going to knock out the Azumarill. We have extra energy for whatever's in the back, and it is a Clodsire. And poor little Clodsire has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide against this back line of ours with Whiscash and Shadow Gligar. Rise, can I run normal Gligar? Rise, can I run Shadow Whiscash? Yeah, I think so. I think both of those are viable. And if you want to take a deeper dive into the matchups that are won or lost, you could always look at PV Poke as Gligar, boom, knocks out the Clod with the dig and gives us the win. Yeah, I think Shadow Whiscash is certainly viable as well. And I think regular Gligar is viable as well. I'm opting for Shadow variant of Gligar, and since I have a pretty decent IV one, and then my regular Whiscash. We get a terrific lead here, and with the influx of Poliwrath, Toxapex is a terrific check to Poliwrath. This opponent's staying in, and check this out. This opponent throws Ice Punch. I was like, what? Ice Punch? That's so like 3 weeks ago. Did he not get the memo? I'm just messing. But Toxapex, gonna enjoy this matchup. Just completely walls Poliwrath. Not sure why the opponent is running Ice Punch. This is a weird situation where it's like, do I undercharge till I get more farm? But I decide if I undercharge, he might just swap out anyway. So I just fully charge it. He comes in with cash. I swap in my own cash, which is kind of awkward because now, depending on, like if he was to swap out, which he does, into a Lickitung, now that opposing cash is still super healthy and a bit problematic for my backline. So this game's not over, but we do get the Scald debuff, the skillful debuff, as I like to joke around with. Gonna go for another Scald here. Whiscash doing his thing. Double Scald debuff. Rise, you're so lucky. I never get the Scald debuff. Okay, D'Angelo. It's 50%. They land the Power Whip through 2 shields. But I figure at this point, I'm probably best served just saving my shields for Gligar, because one Scald does not KO Gligar. So the opponent's going to need to land Scald and also a Mud Bomb. We do build up all this energy, and they catch the first brine on cash. I'm really hoping to get a shield with the second brine, and I do. So that's big for me. And now you'll see me make what I think is probably a mistake here in letting the first one go. I mean, I guess it's a 50-50 call, but I feel like when I'm this healthy, they're unlikely going to bait me. But at the same time, you could argue it's such an obvious shield that maybe they would bait. So I make the wrong call, basically. He lets the dig go through. And at this point, I think we're in a pretty good spot. We're forced to shield a Mud Bomb. In comes Licky. And I'm hoping that my wing attack that just snuck through there is enough to KO. And one more was needed. But now Whiscash cannot Mud Shot down would have to expend energy. And if it expended energy, it would just get poison jabbed down by Tox. So G to the G. Nice little win there. Evan team putting on a bit of a clinic. It's like we're still in that veteran range, but this team has helped me climb quite a bit recently. We were kind of taking it nice and easy for the first portion of the season. Tough lead here into Gligar. Don't have an obvious response. I make a risky swap. Now, this is a very risky safe swap in swapping the Whiscash, because if there's a grass type, like, this game could have been over really quickly. So I don't necessarily recommend swapping Whiscash. Maybe swapping Gligar is the safer play. But I risked it for the biscuit here. And our opponent makes a terrific catch on Licky. But, I mean, I would kind of want to Scald Licky anyway, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. No debuff this time. Gonna go for another Scald here before Licky gets off a charge move. Whiscash. Chipping away. And I'm actually able to pivot out. Because our switch timers were misaligned, I'm able to pivot out. And Toxapex is so bulky. Similar bulk to Azumarill. I'm going to be able to just tank all this energy farm down and have brine energy waiting for that Gligar, which I presume will come back in. I'm hoping he throws energy here. Yeah, I'd rather have him throw energy here than bank it and save it for later. So a Power Whip comes through. I'm expecting Gligar, so I'm kind of just spamming the brine right here. And Gligar does have a dig loaded. So, oh, Carbon comes in. Wow. Carbon comes in. I've got all this energy. So I'm going to be over farming here. So that way, like, if I was to throw, he can't just come in with Gligar and start farming me. This way, I have extra energy to still threaten the Gligar with a swap. Get off a third brine here. Carbink is so bulky, it's going to be able to withstand 3 super effective brines. And now it's like, where do I go from here? So I come in cash, and I'm like, this thing has so much energy. And if I shield, he can just combo play me. So I let it go. I put it all in the back of Gligar. And I am able to get this off before a Rock Slide, which is nice. I'm hoping this Aerial Ace is enough to knock out. It is. We're up a shield, but he's up health and energy. So this is going to be a really close game down to the wire. Gligar versus Gligar. He's got more energy. He's got more health, but we've got an extra shield. Who's going to come out on top? Our Gligar is going to need to get to 2 more Aerial Aces since he still has a shield to hide behind. I don't know if it's going to be possible. We're going to shield. I mean, there's nothing else we're going to shield at this point, right? So we put up our shield. I'm going to commit to that double Aerial Ace. Here comes another Aerial Ace from our opponent. Can we withstand the wing attacks to get to double Aerial Ace? Oh, man, it's close. 1, 2. We've got the double Aerial Ace. We just need to live that wing attack that snuck through. And it looks like we do. And we get off the Aerial Ace for the dub. Shadow Gligar doing his thing. Takes out his brother, his cousin, the non-Shadow Gligar. And gets a nice win there. That was a really good game. Able to overcome a tough lead with the Gligar Core Breaker. Luckily for us, opponent did not have a hard response to our Whiscash safe swap. Of course, if they had like a grass type or something, that would have been game over right from the get-go. So yeah, I don't recommend safe swapping Whiscash usually. I don't know. For some reason, I just felt like it was my better option there, because if you swap Gligar into Gligar, they can just stay in, retain swap, and you're probably in a bad spot. So I just decided to go for that decision. King OWT. Amazing lead for us. Into Azu. In comes Lickitung. Do not have an obvious answer. So I didn't love this situation because, like, I want to keep my Toxapex around for the Azumarill. But the awkward thing is, like, if I swap in Whiscash, that's not comfortable for Whiscash. If I swap in Gligar, Gligar is going to get aligned with Azumarill at some point. But I figure after landing the Sludge Wave, Gligar should be able to shore up this matchup against Licky, and then I'll get off some chip damage against the Azumarill. So not the worst situation in the world. Going for the Aerial Ace here. Will King OWT put up a shield? No, he's going to let it go. And I have enough health here where I can at least get off some valuable chip against this Azu. I actually go for the Aerial Ace here just because I figured I definitely get to 2 Aerial Aces. Can I get to an Aerial Ace plus Dig? and I do. So just kind of weighing the options. Versus if I had gone for dig right away, I would have got to Aerial Ace, but I wasn't sure if I could like dig and still get to another move. So that way we guaranteed 2 moves. Gonna wait out our switch timer, come in with Pex. In comes Gligar. This is kind of bad. Kind of bad. I shield up the first knowing it's probably an Aerial Ace just so I can potentially debuff him. And then his moves will do less. Scald grabs a shield, gets the attack drop. It's big for me. He's going to throw another move. I think I shield again, thinking because he's debuffed, he probably doesn't throw the bait. Probably going to go for the dig since I'm less likely to shield. Get off another Scald here. This is going to be close. If he's able to get out of here and store a dig, this could be rough, but he throws his energy, and we just have to be careful of the catch here. We cannot allow the catch. So we wait a turn, and we catch his move on our Toxapex, and now we should be chilling. As long as we saved a move on our Whiscash, we were going to be in good shape, and he top lefts knowing that the way that would play out is I would simply Poison Jab all the way down and then have a ton of energy for the Gligar. And yeah, he would have to throw energy, in which case then we would just land Scald. So another win there. Oh, got a little ahead of myself. Existing Monkey, aka Brandon, is our next opponent. Brandon had recently 3-0'd me in a Show 6 Pick 3 format like a day or two before this game. So let's see if we can get one back against Brandon. Dragon Claw connects. I underestimated how much this Dragonite can really do against this Toxapex. I figured I could take one and still reach a second brine, but look at that. Don't even reach a second brine after taking the move. He comes in Vig, and I'm just going to stay. And since he swapped out, right, I'm 1 turn ahead, so that's why it's important to throw that Aerial Ace right away, in my opinion. Going to take this, and in my head, I'm thinking with the Dragonite lead, it's very possible his Backmon could be weak to Whiscash, just based off how teams kind of function and make sense. Waiting to see what comes in. What's it going to be? It is Lantern. So here, what you want to make sure, you don't throw the Mud Bomb right away in this scenario. You want to make sure you have extra energy for that Dragonite. Because if Dragonite swaps, we want to make sure we have these Mud Bombs ready to threaten it. Bombs away. It's in Mud Bomb range because of its glassiness. Gonna shield up the Dragon Claw here. This would do more than a Surf from Lantern. I throw another one and actually lose CMP. And I'm debating where I want to use my shield. I decide to let it go because I figure I live. And I figure a dig from my Gligar is going to be more valuable, inflict more damage than the Mud Bomb from my Whiscash. So since my switch timer is up, I simply swap out. Gonna shield this to make sure I land the dig. And I'm thinking dig should do enough where if it doesn't KO, I think fast moves will be enough to KO before the Lantern could ever get to 2 charge moves. Dig, boom, connects, puts Lantern really low, and only took like 3 wing attacks after to knock out. Apologies for the flickering you see occasionally in the footage. Something I've been trying to deal with. I invested in a new game capture device for you guys, and unfortunately it's a little bit sensitive, so it does that little flickering whenever I like move my phone in a way it doesn't like. So yeah, been trying to deal with that. But we get a 5-0 set there, and I got one more set for y'all. By the way, I don't think I mentioned at the start of the video, I hope everyone's having a happy holidays, Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. Hopefully you're spending time with family. I know it can also be a hard time for some people, depending on your circumstances. So hope everyone's at least having some fun or some meaningful connection. Or if it's a hard time for you, let me know that too in the comments. And let me know what you like about Pokemon Go or the video and that sort of thing. Anyway, back to the battles. Rise getting like meaningful midway through his Pokemon Go video. The Battle of the Mud Boys. Whiscash, a much favorable matchup for him against Clodsire, since Clodsire, of course, takes super effective from ground. In comes Dinair. Whiscash has put in a lot of work at this point, so I'm just going to let this go. Going to come in with my Toxapex here, and it is Whiscash in the back. So once again, Whiscash, a little bit of a problem for this team, but if you can keep shields up, you've got your own Whiscash, you've got Gligar, which can fare well here. Once again, I do the same thing. I don't shield, thinking he's going to bait, and I make the wrong call. So probably should get in the habit of shielding early, because the problem now that he's landed the Scald is he can just go straight Mud Bomb. And Mud Bomb would nearly KO, if not KO, from this range. Gonna go for a CMP here on the dig. And now you just have to be really careful of him catching on his D-Nair. So we're very aware of the catch. We're keeping our eye on that top right corner. And we save the dig. And as long as we save the dig, we should be chilling here, because Gligar should win charge attack priority over the Whiscash. I wonder what, I think the official, I mean, everyone's always called it CMP, right? Charge move priority. I think they recently said on one of the Play Pokemon casts, it's actually like charge attack priority is the terminology that they prefer. I don't know what I think. Like, should we keep it CMP? Should we make it CAP? I don't know. But Toxapex farms up enough energy to get rid of the Whiscash. Opponent would have had to double up to give themselves a win con, and even then we would have gotten our move off first, unless we like lagged or something. So a nice win there. Team is on a bit of a run. Next opponent, Tox into Talon. Terrific lead for us. I think this game gets a little bit sketchy though, and here's where it starts. The Sableye safe swap, we don't have an obvious answer, so I elect to brine and then go Whiscash, put it kind of in Scald range. I decide to let this go through. The problem is I don't think Scald quite KOs from here, so Sableye's probably going to reach a second foul play. We go for the Scald. Let's see what they do. They let it go, but yeah, we do get the attack drop. Not 100% sure how good my counting was here, but I think I shield to respect a potential return. I do get the Mud Shot down, which is nice if Talonflame comes back. Let's see. Does Talonflame come back? No, Serperior comes back. And dude, I should have thrown earlier. So a quick little pause. I did like 3 Mud Shots. Let's take a look at our switch timer. So we rewind just a little bit. We're going to shield the foul play. We farm down. Now, let's see. Could I have just thrown? Oh, let's see. So the opponent, odd decision for them to wait so long before coming in. Like, yeah, at this point, I could just throw a move and get out right away, which would have been way better. For some reason, I double up and then throw. Probably not the best idea in the world. And then I hard swap into Toxapex to preserve the Scald later for the Talonflame. But all of a sudden, what was like a comfortable looking game is now a little bit awkward. Talonflame, gonna throw its energy. I throw my brine, and what is really tough here is it looks like we're going to get farmed down before another brine. So now Talon has like 3 Incinerates worth of energy. This is looking kind of awkward, man. I don't throw right away because I know I'll lose CMP anyway. Not confident enough that I live in Incinerate. I throw after 1 to be safe. So I throw Scald after 1. A little bit of flickering. Sorry about that. We do grab the shield. And he's going to throw a move. He doesn't have Brave Bird. He's running Fly Flame Charge. So that's good for us. And then we're just going to make sure we overfarm here. And we need to be within 2 wing attacks of the next move, because he's 1 away from his next move. So we farm up 2 away. We get there first. And Shadow Gligar, an absolute menace, is going to give us the win. Let's go. So really favorable lead for us, but well played by the opponent. They had a really good safe swap and then a backline Mon that got lined up against our Whiscash momentarily. So nice job by them, nearly flipping a pretty tough lead, but we were able to find a way to get it done still. Next opponent, amazing lead. I can see some of the comments. Rise, obviously you went 9-1 with this team. You won every single lead. Okay, Jermaine. Okay, Carl. Sometimes, sometimes you make a read on the meta too. Sometimes you make a read on the meta and you see that Toxapex is doing really well against most of the leads you're seeing. Body Slam comes through. Debating whether I want to shield. Oh, the haters are going to love this. The haters are going to love this game. I shield thinking I can jab down and win switch. And look, he lives with 1 HP. So I'm down a shield and I lost switch and I top left. Because if you're down a shield and you lose switch, like, it's unlikely you're going to come back from that. That's just such a bad situation. So I top left. The 8-game winning streak comes to a close. The haters are rejoicing. Rise, oh my god, you're the worst player in the world. Debatable. I think you'll find a hard time winning that argument, but you have the right to your opinion. Toxapex versus Shadow Dinair. So here we go. A chance for redemption. We just embarrassed ourselves in front of like 342 live viewers in that last battle. And now we've got a chance for redemption. Another Dinair. I build up. I throw the Brine. He shields. I'm going to hard swap this time. I hard swap into Gligar. I'm going to put up a shield because we've seen before that Toxapex just gets farmed down. So I throw my Aerial Ace. No funny business. We're just throwing our move right away. We grab his second shield already. And the fact that he hasn't swapped out tells me he probably doesn't have an obvious answer for Gligar in the back. So I'm willing to put up my second shield and go for a farm down here. In comes a Bastiodon. That caught me by surprise. We're going to go for the dig here after over-farming a bit. Bastiodon has nowhere to go against this backline, really. With shields down, in comes Medi. He tried to catch another dig, but we were able to see it. Aerial Ace comes through. I'm going to do a little chip damage here to make sure I get him into Scald range. Don't want to leave myself vulnerable where like one Scald isn't enough and he gets the 2 moves or something. Overfarm just slightly, hoping Scald is enough to KO from here. Whiscash, boom, knocks out the Medi. And we're in a sweet spot here. Just going for 4 mud shots. Mud Bomb. Would have lived a Stone Edge from this range anyway. And 3-ball flex. We got embarrassed by a Dinair before. This game we're able to 3-ball flex against the Dinair. So it's nice. If you're struggling, and one thing about running the same team over and over again, which I recommend for players, especially newer players, is you start to play those situations better. We played the former Dinair situation about as poorly as possible, and this time we were able to play it better and come out with a win. We have 2 better answers for the Basties. That's why you see me swap Gligar right away. Also, Basti teams are sometimes core broken by Gligar because they might feature like Shadow Victory Bell and Medicham or something like that. So Gligar, I just kind of took the gamble, would be a safe-ish swap. It's a Wigglytuff coming out to greet us. I go for the dig here. Will we see a shield come up? We do not. I'm just going to go for this dig since I'm only going to get to 1 move anyway. I throw on alignment, dig. Knocks out Wiggly, so we take switch, and this is amazing because now we have Whiscash aligned with Basti. I'm going to come in right away while my opponent's still switch locked. And we're going to build up all the energy in the world. All the energy in the world. Make sure we maximize our advantage from this matchup. Going to throw once we have double Mud Bomb. Expecting maybe like a Shadow Victory Bell in the back. We grab a shield. It is a Shadow Victory Bell. Rise, how did you know that? I mean, I think most people watching this video knew that. Common pairing, right? The Basti, the Shadow Victory Bell. Sludge Wave going to, boom, knock out the Shadow Vic. And Bastiodon's not going to be able to handle the Whiscash that's still lurking in the back. So that is a win and a 9-1 run with the Evan team, the Toxapex, Shadow Gligar, Whiscash trio. Some problems with this team. We talked about Whiscash is pretty safe. Alolan Sandslash could be kind of tough in the lead. I'm not sure what you would do. You'd probably have to stay in with Toxapex and just kind of sacrifice it and go from there. But overall, I enjoyed this team a lot, and I've actually been able to climb since this to nearly expert range, where I'm currently number 151, like the original 151, number 151 on the global leaderboard. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Comment down below. All comments are appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Have a Merry Christmas if you celebrate. And also, if you're still here, Odds are it's going to be tough for someone to see this, play the battle, send them in time. But if any one of you watching wants to send me Weird battles, I would love that as a Christmas special. If it happens, it happens. If not, all good. But I'll have some time on Christmas. And you guys know I'm a big Stantler fan, Fear the Deer. And Weird looks so cool and majestic. If any of you guys want to send me some Weird footage in the Go Battle League that I could post on Christmas, that would be a lot of fun for a Christmas special. All that said, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.